So once you have Smooth Shake Free installed from the package manager, all you need to do is drag it on an object. Let's say we want to shake this cube. So I'm just going to drag it onto the cube. You can also add it with the add component menu. It's right here. Or just look for it. Also works. Now we have it here. Now you could change settings here, which I'm going to explain in a bit. But you can also simply drag on a preset. So Smooth Shake Free comes with a couple presets. Let's say we want to do some vertical floating. So drag it into the preset slot. And then you can press play and simply test the shake. Now you could go to this preset and change settings here, but instead what I'm going to show you is how to make your own preset. So there's two ways of using Smooth Shake Free. You could just remove the preset and change settings here for this specific cube, but you can also make your own preset. You do it with right mouse button, create, Smooth Shake Free, and a Smooth Shake preset. I'm just going to call it test preset, and here are some settings. So I want to have a fade in of 1 second, this curve, and a fade out of 1 second. With this curve. A Smooth Shake Free offers two noise types, a simple sine wave and a white noise. I want to make something smooth, so I'm going to use a sine wave, make it shake 15 degrees in each direction with a frequency of 1, 1.5 and 2, for example. You should just try different settings and see what looks nice. Now I'm going to drag this preset on, press play and test. Pretty awesome. Now I can go to the preset here to change some settings again. Maybe I want it to be really intense, so I'm going to use a white noise instead. How does that look? Cool. And how do you start this from script? I'm just going to make a script. I'm going to call it test shake. So for this example, I'm just going to make it shake in start, but you can imagine you can shake it anywhere you want. So first we need to go using Smooth Shake Free. I need a reference to a shake. I'm just going to make a public reference to a smooth shake called shake. And then all you need to do is go shake.start shake. And that's about it. So now I'm just going to drag this reference here. Press play, and it should start shaking. There you go. But one more fun thing you could do. In the previous Smooth Shake, if you wanted to shake with different settings during gameplay, you would need to go start changing all the settings individually and change them back. And it was honestly a mess. But because of the preset system, what you can do now is simply get a reference to a preset by going with a Smooth Shake Free preset. I'm just going to call it preset and start a shake with a preset. Starting it without a preset just starts the shake with the default settings on that shake. But by using a preset, you can start a shake with any settings you want at any time. So let's say during the game we want to start a seasick shake for some reason. Well, I'm just going to drag the preset in here, press play, and you can see it will start with the seasick preset. There you go. And that's really how simple it is. That's about it. So now I'm going to show you something Smooth Shake Pro can do. If you want to shake an object, a camera, 2D objects, UI elements, the starter is kind of the same as Smooth Shake Free. Let's say we want to shake a camera this time. You can go to Add Components, Smooth Shake Pro, and add it from here. Drag it on manually or search for it. And once it's on, you can start changing settings. Camera shakes and Smooth Shake Pro also have FOV shake. But before diving into that, let's just start with a preset again. Smooth Shake Pro comes with over 50 different presets, all neatly organized in different folders. As you can see, it also comes with a couple presets for non-Cinemachine cameras. Let's say I want to use camera FOV hit. In Smooth Shake Pro, you can directly edit the preset from this edit preset button and the pop-up window that then shows up, or you can go to the preset again like a Smooth Shake Free. But let's test this first. Just like in Smooth Shake Free, in play mode you can use the test shake button to test it. As you can see, this also has an FOV shake. But let's try a more complex example. Some people ask me if you can also shake UI elements with this, and you definitely can. It actually works the same as any other object. So I have this text I'm going to be shaking. Let's just hide this cube for now and add the Smooth Shake component to this text. You also might have noticed we have this custom preview window, which is quite useful when making custom shakes. As you can see, this is what the position shake looks like right now. It just has one sine wave attached. On objects, you also get skill shake. Let's say you want this text to shake like jelly. I'm going to remove this position shake. I'm going to add a fade in of 1 second. I'm going to make it a constant shake, so it just keeps on shaking until you stop it. And I'm going to go to the plus button to add a skill shake. As you can see in Smooth Shake Pro, you can have lists of shakes. And you can also layer them with blending mode, which can be really powerful to create a huge variety of different movements. There's also many noise types. Just like in Smooth Shake Free, you have sine wave and white noise, but you also have a lot of others. I'm just going to be using a sine wave for now. I'm also going to set the preview window to scale so I can actually see what I'm doing. I think I'm going to set the amplitude to something like 0.3, frequency to 2. And I'm going to leave the offset and phase for now. But I can show you what these do. In the preview window, you can see what it does. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's an offset in any given direction. And chasing the phase looks like this. This is essentially the start position of the sine wave or whatever noise you're using. This can be cool to randomize from code to get really organic and random effects. But I'm going to leave this at 0 for now. And for the other axes, I'm going to do something similar. Also 0.3 amplitude, but a different frequency, because that makes it look more natural. So now we have one sine wave. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another sine wave. I'm going to use the blending mode multiply, and I want it to have a different frequency. I'm going to increase the strength, and as you can see, you get a way more random result this way. I'm going to do the same for the other axes, and then I'm going to add another one. This is going to be another sine wave. I'm multiplying again, this time with an even higher frequency, maybe 12, 11.5. You just have to experiment and see what looks nice. But now we get this very interesting looking shape. I'm going to see how it looks on the other axes. Yeah, kind of similar. That's good. And let's test this out. I'm going to do enable on start. See what it looks like. Great. So this is a bit too intense. In play mode, I could just go ahead and change some settings. Let's put the amplitude to 0.05 for the others as well. That's already a little nicer. Let's make it a bit more slow because it's going pretty fast. So just to make it easier to preview, because I'm essentially using an infinite hold duration, I'm going to add a 10-second hold duration. That makes it easier to see what I'm doing. I can go a little stronger. That looks nicer too. I honestly don't know what I'm creating right now, but awesome. I'm going to stop the shake, do no hold duration, and maybe not even use a fade in, just a fade out. Well, there's a lot possible. It really depends on whatever you want, really. There's so many things you can do. If I just remove all of these and add a square wave, give an amplitude of 0.2, frequency of 2, just a hold duration of 5 and no fade in. You can make it flash, essentially. Something I often also do is add a white noise, give it a shorter lifetime, with a fade in again, and add a sine wave that does have a full lifetime to really get that extra little impact at the beginning. I'm just gonna do the same for position. Cool, now we have a shake with a lot of extra impact at the beginning and then a bit more subtle at the end. You can see it's really easy to get lost in this and just have fun creating a bunch of different types of shakes. And let's say we like this shake. Now what we can do with Smooth Shake Pro is press the Save as New Preset button, give it a name. I'm just gonna call it Test Preset and save it. And then it will be saved right here in the presets folder, which as you can see, you can also do from play mode. You can go to Windows, Smooth Shake, Global Settings to change the default save location if you want. Awesome. There's a lot more you can do, but you can check out the documentation to see all the features. But a couple other things I want to show you. You can do the same thing for rigid bodies, materials, and Cinemachine cameras, which I'm quickly going to show you right now. So let's get this cube back. Let's hide this text. Let's add a rigid body to this cube. And let's add the Smooth Shake rigid body component. There's a couple different presets again you can use. Let's try it. The horse preset. Cool. Now let's say I want to shake a material. I'm going to remove this rigid body and Smooth Shake rigid body for now. And I'm going to add Smooth Shake material. So I have this simple glow shader with a float property called glow. And I have a material attached to this object with that same shader. And what I can do is I can add a float shake, which could be anything again. Let's make it a triangle wave this time. Set the amplitude to 1. Frequency to 2 maybe, make it a constant shake, and just for the preview window I'm going to set the hold duration to 5 so I can see it in the preview window. Property name I know for a fact is _glow. It is a float, and you can attach a local material to change the property from right here, but if you don't put anything here it will just automatically get the material from this object. So let's press play and test this. Awesome. Essentially something that's happening right now that I don't really like is that the glow is going below 0. What I can do to change that is give it an offset of 1, which means it would always stay above 1. That's what offset's really useful for as well. So I can layer this with another shake. Maybe I want to layer this with some noise and just no offset this time. Okay, I don't actually like how this looks, but there's a lot possible. Now let's say I have a Cinemachine camera. Well, I'm just going to add a regular Cinemachine camera, move it up a bit like so. And what I can do is I can add Smooth Shake Cinemachine, add maybe the Cinemachine drunk preset, for example, press play. And you can see this also works, just like that. This also works with the FOV shake, and it automatically adds a Cinemachine camera offset and recomposer component to create a position and rotation shake. So this works after any Cinemachine movement you're doing in game. Now the next really cool thing I want to show you is the Smooth Shake timeline track. I have an empty object here called timeline. I can add a playable director to it, and I can create a new playable asset. Now I'm going to call it shake timeline test. Save it in the assets folder for now. And you can go right mouse button, Smooth Shake Pro, and add a Smooth Shake track. If you're using Cinemachine, which I'm actually using right now, you can add a Smooth Shake Cinemachine track, but it all works the same. Then you can drag your Cinemachine camera right in here, or your object that you're shaking with the other track. Go right mouse button in the track and add a new Smooth Shake clip. And as you can see right here, you get the same settings, except for fading in and out, because you can do that with the ease in and out duration like this. Let's make it a little shorter. And if you're lazy like me, you just select the preset here. Let's add Cinemachine tremor. And like this, we're still in edit mode, and you can just preview and tweak the shake right here. You can imagine that's really powerful for cutscenes, sequences. For me, it was always a huge struggle. Pretty often in a cutscene, I want something to shake, and I would just have to manually trigger an event that would shake, that would only work in play mode, and it would be really hard to tweak the settings and make it all look nice. But that's no problem anymore, because you can just do it in edit mode. And something really cool you can do is, if I add another Cinemachine clip, the second one can have totally different settings. Let's add Cinemachine drunk, for example. And it automatically transitions between them. So you can make really cool things that way. You can also just remove the preset and start changing things manually. Fun fact, if you remove a preset, the settings from last preset are automatically saved. So you can also use them as starting point. And there you go. Now I want to show you some other cool components you can use. First one is called the SmoothShake Starter. I have this 2D title screen demo. These demo scenes are all included with SmoothShake Pro, by the way. And in this scene, all the letters are separate objects that all have individual shakes on them. Well, it can be really annoying to tweak them all manually, separately. So I have a starter component. Let's say this is empty. I can just lock this and drag them all in here. And then you can simply test and manage and start all these shakes from one place. You can also stop them right here, start them again. Awesome. And on an even higher level, if you have a lot of different shakes in your game for a lot of different purposes, it can become quite hard to manage all the references. Later, I'm also quickly going to show you how to use it in the script. And as you saw with SmoothShake 3, you can just call start shake, which works the same as SmoothShake Pro. But you always need a reference to a shake. And that can be quite annoying. If you have shakes in all kinds of different locations for different purposes, it can become quite a mess easily. So there's a component called the SmoothShake Manager. If you add it and press the plus button that saves shakes, you can add a new shake and give it a name. So let's call this the main camera. Add another one for the material shake we added earlier. I'm going to call this object glow. Add another one for the UI element. Call this text. This can be a convenient place to just save all your shakes. You can also see all the settings for the shakes right there. Change them, test them, all from this one place. If you have a lot of shakes hidden inside other objects, and just add them to the manager and manage them from here. You can also add starter objects just to show how I added this title also in this scene with all the different letters. If I create a starter component with all of these in there, go back to the manager, I can just add this right here. It's all compatible. And now what you can do from script, from any script anywhere really. I'm just going to make a script called test shake. I'm going to be using SmoothShake Pro. And I just need a reference to the manager. Just for testing purposes, I'm going to start a shake in the start method. You can go manager.startShake. And you can just call it by name. So I have one called main camera. And then we set the SmoothShake manager reference. Press play. It starts shaking. So this way you only need a reference to the manager, name all your shakes and organize them that way. And if you have multiple shakes that always should start at the same time, you can use the SmoothShake starter component. And just like in the free version, we can get a reference to a preset. There are different types of presets. We have a SmoothShake preset, which is just the regular one. There's a SmoothShake Ridigbody preset, material preset, Cinemachine preset. You get the point. But the camera is a regular SmoothShake. So we have a SmoothShake preset. We're going to call it preset. And you can call it by name and with the preset. So let's try camera drunk flying. Press play. And it should start with camera drunk flying. Awesome. This makes it really easy to start a lot of different shakes at specific moments anywhere you want. By the way, if you're still wondering, you can also start creating a preset by going right mouse button, create, smooth shake, and whatever preset type you want to create. You can also start any shake or starter with start shake and a preset as well. That all still works like in the free version, but the manager just makes it really nice to manage it all. If you don't want to use the manager, you don't have to. You can just get a reference to any regular smooth shake and just start that with a preset. Oh, I do still need a preset reference, of course. This also works. And if we just start it without a preset, it will just use whatever settings are on that object. Awesome. One last component I want to show you is the Smooth Shake Randomizer component. And I'm going to use this 3D title screen demo scene as an example, because let's say you have all these different smooth shakes and you want them to have kind of a similar shake, but just suddenly randomized. I've noticed there are quite a lot of scenarios where this could come in handy. And all you need to do is just add all the shakes you want, just like with the starter component. Decide how much randomness you want to add. For now, you can randomize the frequency or the phase. Let's say you want to randomize them both. You can just press randomize. It will say successfully randomized any amount of shakes. And when I go to the specific shakes, you can see all frequencies and phases are suddenly randomized. Which means if you press play, you get a nice randomized result. And that's just the beginning, honestly. If you know what you're doing with the smooth shake material, you can also shake image effects for post-processing. Might be something I'm going to make easier in the future. I also have ideas for making post-processing shake or even audio shake. If you have cool ideas, let me know. Also, let me know if you find bugs. But for now, that's really about it. Follow me for updates or check out the latest changelog if there are changes or the documentation, because that should be up to date. And that's about it.